Hi guys, I'm upstairs in the spare room. I made a comment on Mean Mr Mayo's last video, which some people seem to have taken offence at, but I think everyone's got the wrong end of the stick. Basically, it was his reply to his "I just don't get it" thread, and I was watching it, and he started off by saying that he had listened or watched Derek's video where Derek had mentioned how he didn't like a style of music but could appreciate why other people did like it. And he then went on to say that he didn't like hip-hop, rap, particularly I think rap. I think hip-hop is such a huge banner, which was another point. Hip-hop was such a huge banner, but I think it was particularly rap that he doesn't like. But then proceeded to actually kind of slate it to the point where he said it was a fad, and unless I've got it completely wrong, he seemed to think it had no merit as a kind of musical form. And I sent him a message saying that he was wrong. I can completely agree that he doesn't like it, but you certainly can't say that hip-hop was a fad. A fad is something that is very popular over a short period of time. And where he mentioned Blondie, it might have been a fad for other groups to dabble with hip-hop, and like he said, Blondie did Rapture when they tried to incorporate rap into their songs. It might have been a fad for other bands to dabble with hip-hop, but to actually say rap itself is a fad is wrong. And that's what I was saying. I have no problem with his dislike for rap, just as much as I have no problem with his love for Connie Francis, which I can't understand. But each to their own. But yeah, to disregard a whole genre of music, I think is very kind of narrow-minded. I don't like country music. But I'm not going to say all country music is basically about guys named Sue riding around on horses and sleeping with their sisters and shooting their dads. It's it just seemed a bit of a ill thought out argument, in my opinion. So that was all I was really trying to get at. I did notice in one of his comments that he had made, because I've been following it. It's actually brought up a huge. People have been writing like huge 100-word comments in response to his post and my initial post, and he did say maybe he should have said, why wasn't hip-hop just a fad? Well, I think because the fad became a trend, and the trend became a lifestyle, and that proves that it was credible. People have embraced it. It is huge. There's been no other musical genre in the last 30 years, apart from maybe dance music, but I don't know how big that really is in the US. But yeah, it's pretty big in Europe. So that would be the only other competitor, but as a kind of lifestyle and cultural phenomenon, it doesn't really, I think, touch the whole hip hop culture and music phenomenon. Because let's face it, it's been around for 30 odd years now, and it's not going to go away, regardless of whether some people dislike it or not. I kind of see it as like modern art. It really frustrates me when I really like art and modern art and conceptual art, whereas my family, for the most part, not my wife, who's really into her art as well, but my parents and my sister and things, they don't understand, and are not willing to think about conceptual art. They look at, I don't know if it's a conceptual painting, and they see some paint splattered on it, but they're not willing to actually read why, the whole concept behind the conceptual art. And that's, I just find it frustrating. It's yeah, it's frustrating, and that's why I got frustrated. I'm not actually angry. I like Joe. I like Joe's videos. You know, I love the fact that he likes Connie Francis with a passion, and I love all his Beatles stuff. But I do think his views on hip hop and rap are quite narrow. Oh, the other point he I thought was amusing was when he said that he found, you know, it was just a repetitive beat, which is how the whole thing started. You know, I can't remember whether it was Grandmaster Flash or African Bambaataa that started. You know, they bought two of the same record, and they, you know, they found a beat that they wanted to sample, and then they would, you know, switch between the two records so they could keep that single beat or riff or whatever it was. They could repeat it over and over again, and then people started, you know, rapping and talking over the top of it, which is how the whole thing kind of started. So the fact that it was the repetition and was one of the things he viewed as a downside, was actually one of the reasons, the whole reasons the genre kind of started in the first place, which I thought was a funny point. But anyway, I was speaking to Ben Costello. He showed a video of his top 10 hip hop albums, and I did also watch a guy in Australia, I can't think what his name is now, with the cap and the big beard. He did another one as well. And we were speaking about it, and hip hop and rap is a section is sorely missing in the VC. So I did a video ages ago, a few years ago, in reply to Cool Ranch Dressing's English albums. I did an American one, and I showed all my hip hop. So I think it was one of the first videos I did. And I'm now on my 100th video. This was supposed to be some kind of 100th video celebration. But anyway, I'm going to show some of my hip hop that I've been listening to recently. Thanks to Ben for kind of spurring me on. NWA's Express Yourself. This is 12-inch. The RZA and Bobby Digital. I love that kind of blaxploitation style cover. That's a great album, Bobby Digital. Hello Nasty by the Beastie Boys, another classic. De La Soul is Dead. These aren't necessarily my top 10, these are just ones that I seem to be pulling out. The Far Side, it's a great documentary as well about Fat Lip. I think it's called What Up Fat Lip. Yeah, and it's well worth watching. He's a bit of a messed up kind of guy. Public Enemy, Apocalypse 91. Public Enemy's Greatest Misses. These are all original pressings. Public Enemy's Night Train. Easy Does It by Eazy-E. Jurassic 5's Quality Control. I love that stylus reading the grooves on the tree there. I've always thought that was a great back cover. ODB's Return to the 36 Chambers. It's brilliant. It's got to be one of the messed up guys. Life After Death by Biggie. And also Ready to Die. Both great albums. This is the one that's got Juicy and Gimme the Loot and things on it. What else have we got in here? Beastie Boys. I've done a whole Beastie Boys video, so I'm not going to show much of that. Busta Rhymes' The Coming. First Eminem album, back when he was still good. I think, you know, when he started taking himself a bit too seriously, it wasn't quite so good. Method Man, some more Method Man. This is a single by Mos Def, Nate Dogg and Pharoahe Monch. Mos Def, I'd love to get his Black on Both Sides album. It's one of my favourite hip hop albums. I've got it on CD, but for some reason I never picked it up on vinyl. And the Pharoahe Monch track, Simon Says, that's another classic hip hop track. What else have we got in here? Raekwon, Only Built for Cuban Links. I've got a lot of Wu-Tang stuff. GZA, Liquid Swords, Wu-Tang Killer Bees, The Swarm Volume 1, and the Wu Chronicles. I've actually left the stuff that I was listening to downstairs. There was Enter the 36 Chambers by the Wu-Tang, which has got to be one of the best hip-hop albums, in my opinion. Plus I had some singles of Snoop Dogg, What's My Name, and what else? I Know by De La Soul, got the 12-inch of that, I was spinning. But yeah, so that's it. So there's a selection of hip-hop. This is 13.5 minutes. So yeah, so no hard feelings, Joe. I wasn't particularly having a go at you. I doubt you've been watching this to the end because I've been showing hip hop and you don't like it. But there we go. That's what I wanted to say. So I'd love to hear your comments, and if you want to slag off hip hop, brilliant. But just don't call it a fad.